Hi, my name's Shawn Shaler. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek, and we'd like to interrupt your day for this breaking, maybe not actually real news, but possibly just rumors announcements, and also because we're both very busy and we can't record tonight, and this conveniently popped up in front of us. It was thrown in our faces. So we're going to do a short form podcast this week, maybe even very short. But Chris picked up or heard about or saw, and probably everybody in the world but me has already seen this, but a rumor pertaining to the Netflix live action Avatar: The Last Airbender series. And we thought it'd be fun to read and react to it here in a timely fashion for once. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're very on time.
We're working right now at our normal jobs. That's how on time we're doing this.
This is how committed we are, people. We do this for you all. And also because it was convenient.
Oh, it was extremely convenient. Well-timed Avatar news we needed you right now.
When the world needed them most. Anyway, so the news. Yeah, so our last bit of news that we got, well, it was a big news that we got from the Netflix series, was that Mike and Bryan were no longer part of it. They're no longer showrunners. That was huge, terrible news that I hated.
It was a pretty big deal, yeah.
Yeah. But now comes some new news given to us from the website, the Illuminerde, which is actually a pretty cool name.
Yeah, it's catchy.
But it says, according to them, their sources, I don't know who the Illuminerde is. Honestly, never heard of them. So take this news with a grain of salt, like everything else.
We're going to put it in like squarely in rumor territory, I think, right?
Yeah. But it seems plausible. So it says the new showrunner has been chosen, and it is Albert Kim. I don't know who that person is. Had to look him up. He's worked on things such as Nikita. You heard about that show on the CW. Sleepy Hollow. You heard of Sleepy Hollow? It was on Fox. Mm-hmm. Okay. He's worked on a couple other shows. But pretty much those are the two biggest things.
I'm Googling him right now to see how excited or not excited I am. I hadn't seen this earlier. Chris is reading this to me fresh. Albert Kim, IMDb. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, that's familiar. I actually do like Nikita. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan, but I like it.
I hear good things about Sleepy Hollow. Everyone who's watched Sleepy Hollow raves about it.
ESPN Hollywood, I've never heard of that one, but it seems like I would have. It looks like a series even. Anybody out there familiar with ESPN Hollywood, tell us what that's about. Hey, that is... I don't know nearly as much. If you know 80% of how the industry works and stuff from the fan side, or 90, I don't want to short you. I know 2 or 3%. Is it normal for this long of a lag? Because it feels like that. It feels like Bryan and Mike left a long time ago.
I wouldn't think this is normal. I would have thought that a new showrunner would have been announced like maybe a month or so after. Maybe not even that long after, because they already had people kind of working on it, and they were already kind of past it in a sense. So I thought a new showrunner would have been announced within 3 to 6 weeks, something like that.
So based on Nikita, and I'm vaguely familiar with Sleepy Hollow, and those are both well liked. I think that's fair to say. I looked into ESPN Hollywood because I was confused. And the description in IMDb is just half-hour nightly sport and entertainment news program from 2005 to 2006. It makes it sound like it was covering Hollywood-specific sports. I don't know what that entails, but it was not popular. Let's put it that way. It was not popular. What a weird show. And then the other one is Leverage. That's another one I've not heard of. Oh, it's well-reviewed.
Interesting about Albert Kim is that he is Asian. Or at least he looks very Asian.
Chris went to Ancestry.com. He verified it. Don't worry about it.
Yes, I did that much notes. And it would be nice if Bryan and Mike weren't doing it. I guess it would be nice to have an Asian be the showrunner, because Avatar: Last Airbender takes huge influences from Asian culture, and so that would be pretty appropriate to have an Asian creator helming the series. So that part of the news, that's not the only news, Shawn. That's part one of the news. That part of the news, I'm kind of fine with.
I mean, based on what little I know and have here, like I said, those other 3 shows all seem very well liked. So cool.
Yeah.
All right.
The other part of the news that is more controversial, shall I say, is that they are aging up. According to this, they are aging up the characters. Aang will still be 12, which you would think they would have aged him up. But they're kind of flipping Katara and Sokka, having Katara as the older one, and her being 16, and Sokka being 14, which is that's weird for a lot of
But
reasons.
why?
Because
I'm sorry, you weren't finished yet, but still, why? Why?
if I had to guess, it. I don't. My
Okay,
guesses are that it creates more of that teen drama instead of that tween drama, I guess. Because then you can do, I don't know, the love interests, teenage stuff that teenagers are into, I guess.
ugh,
But
feelings, disgusting. No, ew, why? I'm sorry, are you actually done with the whole news piece? Can I continue
that is
complaining?
continue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
I don't think of all the things that we have talked about, at least you and I. You know what? First and foremost, let's readdress. Again, just rumor from site that we're not familiar with. Oh, so, whatever. But in all the things that you and I have talked about wanting to see in this, this was not one of them. And I don't like it because it means they're doing things that my brain doesn't want to consider as possibilities. Um, your explanation makes enough sense, uh, I guess, but I don't know that I like that as a direction for the series. I suppose.
well, and the thing I hate about this is that it pulls Katara and Aang further apart, right? I can see like a 12-year-old, well, not, I can imagine I can comprehend a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old dating, once that 12-year-old becomes 13 and she becomes 15. I don't know. Things are just, there's a certain, like, oh, well, when are their birthdays? They could be 2 years apart. They could be a year and 3 months apart. They could be 2 years. And anyway, they could just be somewhere between, you know, 18 months to, to,
And
not
it's
getting big
much
right now.
easier to wrap your mind around. Like, I can remember
Yeah.
12-year-old me having a crush on 14-year-old, or I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
two grade older people. Yeah, easy peasy. But
Like
this is
16, this is, I saw a meme of like Anakin
33%.
from I saw a meme of Anakin Skywalker from The Phantom Menace and Natalie Portman from The Phantom Menace saying this is Aang Katara's relationship
I don't want to delve into the
in
whole
the live
Star Wars
action.
thing too far, but Natalie Portman is one of my favorites, and just of all time, and that still hurts me to think about
Yeah.
that whole ugh.
So the reason why I think this is fairly plausible is because Mike and Brian left for a reason. All right. And it wasn't a small reason. They would have been able, and they even said in their explanation, or they even said in their announcement they were leaving, that they could work with small changes here and there, but they wanted to keep the spirit of the show, and this could definitely be one of those things that broke them, that made them leave.
I think it
And
hurts too much of one of our favorite things about Avatar, and I'm willing to at least guess on your behalf here, is that we have tremendous connection with the characters for very specific, well developed reasons. And this sort of seems to chip away at the foundation of that. It's like, all right, we're gonna take this character you like, and now she's 16, and that's gonna create different family dynamics, different relationship dynamics, like all these well
yeah,
crafted, beautiful characters that we know and love, and that draw people to this series. So yeah, I'm probably overreacting a little bit, but I mean, it's one of the biggest draws of the story being told. Is these
it
tremendous characters.
it does change so many things, especially that it not only changes Katara's relationship with Aang greatly, it changes Katara's relationship with Sokka.
Mm-hmm.
Like so much of what informs Sokka is this myth that him as the older brother, as must be the protector of the whole village and everything, must protect everyone, and that doesn't happen right now. He's like the little brother, right? There's a different dynamic
That's
there
a
between
huge difference,
between them.
yeah. I mean, how would your family be different, Chris, if you and your older siblings suddenly, like, all right, you're big brother now and they're little? How does that change?
Oh,
Everything.
it changes everything about you.
Everything.
Like the way you rank at amongst your siblings changes. Yeah, it changes absolutely everything.
The
And
mere
now
fact that
Katara,
they
Go
Like,
ahead.
well, I'm just even if it did work out, because it still could. Like, we could still watch it. We could still love it. If there was no hope of that, why would I watch it? But I'm going to because I have hope. That's what the series taught me. But the fact that they are willing to sort of undercut is, I guess, it's very worrisome. The fact that they're willing to make that type of change at all is very nerve-wracking or concerning.
Yeah. But I'm going to put this. I would say Avatar News, which is a Twitter site that I follow, claims that they have some type of a confirmation to, I think, either confirm or deny this at some point. So I'll check on that. But we haven't had any news in a long time. I'm pretty sure the show is going to happen because Netflix would be stupid not to do any version of this show, no matter good or bad, because
It would
they
be a
saw
weird point to turn back. Yeah.
Yeah. And this seems fairly plausible to me. I don't know. Things are. We should have gotten more news by now, and this seems like some fairly plausible news. Seems like a fairly plausible reason why Bryan and Mike would leave.
In a pure business sense, is that the right target market? Catering to teens over younger children. Because in my mind, the target market is 20s to 40s, right? People that pay bills and.
I would think so. I would think in Hollywood exec minds or whoever saying that like adults and teenagers can't relate to a small kid as well as they could teenagers. And so I could see that being a business choice.
I have no issue.
Not that I agree with that.
I have no issue validating the idea that, like, as far as target market for Netflix, our age people, a very wide range around us of ages, but essentially our age of people, and maybe teens having more appeal, or a slightly older group of children having more appeal, at least opening avenues for a little more older drama. I don't know. It pisses me off either way. I'm just trying to be positive. But
I mean, again, no matter if the show sucks or not, we always have the original. So
we always have that. I'm gonna watch this regardless. I have Netflix.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably watch it twice regardless, unless it is just utterly piss.
I will watch it once with you, and yeah, if it's good, I'll try it again in sort of a more hindsight approach. And if it's garbage, I'll just get really mad. What do they say in Community? There's this is a full circle thing, but there's an episode of Community where the FBI comes to campus because as Joe Biden is visiting or something like that, and then the secret agent is kind of hitting on Abed and back and forth, but one of them pulls the burned copy of Avatar out of his bag, and I can't remember what he says. Something like "Where were you 3 weeks ago?" But I don't remember what the kicker was.
It was because they were they were like in a race way suspecting Abed of things because he is Middle Eastern descent.
Yeah.
And then he searched his backpack. He was like, all I found was a bootleg copy of The Last Airbender. We could arrest him on that, or we could take him in on that. And Abed was like, where you were when I watched it, or something like that.
His line is "Where were you 3 weeks ago?" But I don't remember what their line was to make it so damn funny. But something like that. Yeah. Anyway, full circle. The female FBI agent is Denise from Scrubs.
Oh, she's hilarious. She's great. I love her in Scrubs.
I love her in Scrubs season 8. I don't like her in Scrubs season 9.
She's so okay. My favorite line is when like JD and Turk are with this patient who's dying, like who's gonna die in a day. All right. And Denise is like hard hitting, no emotions and everything. And JD and Turk are in there talking to him and stuff. Things are getting a little emotional. And she walks in there, she's like, oh, wow, you guys are like really sad in here. Like, did you all 3 of you guys have your periods at the same time?
Have you synced your periods or something? Synced your menses?
Yeah,
I forgot how she delivers.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm butchering the joke.
No, it's a tremendous line.
And then she's in the show after that called Happy Endings, which is a great show. I highly recommend that show as well.
I'm not familiar with that show, and I actually wasn't familiar with this until just yesterday when Heather and I were trying to decide. We're like, this lady looks really familiar, and we looked it up, and it's like one episode, so small part of IMDb. Anyway, great in seasons like 7 and 8 or whatever 2 she's in that aren't 9.
Joan is her name.
What's that?
I think Joan is her name. No, it's Denise. Joan is just what
Denise.
JD calls her from Fats Alive.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's funny. Um, okay, I diverted too far, but that was it.
it's okay.
It was related. Community, Scrubs, random comedy or random pieces of comedy. Chris, final thoughts, final reaction notes on this.
I don't like. I'm fine with the showrunner if that's who they chose. He seems to have delved into some fantasy. He is of Asian American descent, so that checks off enough. I would have picked someone different. Probably would have picked someone from the show, like John Carlo Volpe, which I haven't heard a lot from him lately. Um, and as for the age rumor, I hate that. Burn it.
Yeah,
Burn that part.
I
I
feel
hate
like poor Giancarlo. They probably were like, "Well, we were considering him," and then we watched that one episode that he directed, and we're like, "Nah."
it. It's like, but I directed episodes of the finale. Nah, you directed Great Divide. You're the
They're
Great
like,
Divide
"No, we
guy.
didn't even get that far, kid. We
I
we
thought,
got to hear." And like, "Oh
I,
God, turn it off."
yeah. I've reassured him though that the directing Great Divide is good. It's the writing
Yes, not
that's bad.
his fault. Giancarlo, we're here for you, buddy. Well, thanks, Chris, for bringing up this half acceptable, half disappointing potential news slash rumor as a very convenient way to get an on time recording in for once. I appreciate it. Everybody else, let us know your thoughts, or if you see other random rumblings and stuff on Twitter, we'd love to hear about it down in the comments. We always like keeping in the know with that stuff. Or when I
Yeah.
say that, I mean Chris likes keeping in the know, and I like him to vet through the information that's pertinent and deliver it to
Yeah.
me. That's all I got.
Oh yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was a lot of fun.
Thank you very much. This has been Avatar: The Last Podcasters. That's Chris, aka Objective_Geek, and my name's Shawn. We will be back with regularly scheduled programming next week. Thank you guys very much.